The fourth gate, hurt the door, open. With the opening of the fourth gate of the 8 inner gates, he really means starting to enter the state of the 8 inner gates. This is the danger zone of the 8 inner gates. Once the fourth gate is opened, the power that erupts will be completely different from the previous third gate. In Sasuke's eyes, Sharingan is running fast. The powerful pupil power seemed to be consumed crazily at this moment. Unbeknownst to Sasuke, his eyes were copying the 8 inner gates as closely as possible. It is impossible to copy forbidden technique. Ordinary spell copying is fine. As for spells like 8 inner gates, it is impossible to directly copy them with Sharingan. However, Sasuke's current Sharingan is running crazily, as if he wants to try to copy this technique. At the same time, with the assistance of Sharingan, Sasuke observed many wonderful changes after Lee opened 8 inner gates. Sasuke. At this time Sasuke was immersed in the wonder of observing the 8 inner gates. However, Lee yelled and called Sasuke back directly. Sasuke, who came back to his senses, looked at Xiaoli in front of him. Powerful chakra waves lingered around Xiaoli's side, and the airflow that was set off was rippling crazily throughout the venue. If you are not serious, you will not be able to withstand the next attack. Just now Xiaoli noticed that Sasuke was obviously distracted. Hearing Xiaoli's words, Sasuke also exhaled lightly. Yes. Facing the 8 inner gates, even though Xiaoli has only activated the 4th gate now, he can't take it lightly. Don't worry, I won't be killed by you so easily, said Sasuke's mouth slightly raised. He raised his hand and hooked Xiaoli. This action, it reminded little Lee that when he met Sasuke for the first time, Sasuke did the same thing to him at that time. But for the first time, Xiaoli felt Sasuke's strong provocation. But this time what he felt was Sasuke's respect. Nourish. Moment. A bolt of lightning burst out from between Sasuke's eyebrows. This thunder spread instantly like a spider web. Immediately afterwards, Sasuke's whole body was suddenly covered, and intense thunder and lightning roared. Lightning style, extreme speed, crackling. The beating thunder surrounded Sasuke's body, and even Sasuke's hairstyle changed because of the lightning. Look at Sasuke like this. Shikamaru and others, who are also genin, stared wide-eyed. This time is different from before. The power of Sasuke's lightning style is no longer what it used to be. This time it was turned on quickly, and I could clearly feel the changes in Sasuke. Asuma and others couldn't help but exclaim, "What a powerful lightning style! This kid has reached such an unfathomable level in lightning style's nature transformation." Hearing this, Shikamaru was a little puzzled. What does the teacher mean? Asuma looked at the extremely violent thunder beside Sasuke. Ordinary Jonin lightning style may not be able to erupt such an astonishing movement, but the power of this kid's lightning style is obviously different. Joy was also shining in Orochimaru's eyes. Such a genius is indeed too difficult. But he looked at Sarutobi. Konoha is really the cradle of geniuses. These two genins will probably be among the best in Konoha in the future. Hearing the words of 4th Kazekage, Hiruzen was in a good mood, and smiled humbly. They're still just brats, and they're far from strong. Xiaoli looked at the thunder that covered Sasuke's body. As expected of the opponent I identified, this move looks very strong. But compared with my 8 inner gates, which one is stronger and weaker? Beep. Xiaoli suddenly broke out. The explosive power brought by the powerful 8 inner gates raised Xiaoli's speed to a new level. The moment he made the movement, even the air shook wildly. A pothole suddenly appeared on the ground with one step. The figure flew towards Sasuke as quickly as a cannonball. However, in the face of Xiaoli, who was rushing towards him at an astonishing speed, the corners of Sasuke's mouth rose slightly. Flash. Crack. Sasuke, who instantly turned into a bolt of lightning, left a trail of lightning, and his figure disappeared instantly. The two burst out at the same time at an unimaginable speed for ordinary ninjas. The roar of a thunderbolt bursting in the air and the sound of air being compressed and exploding sounded at the same time. The thunder snake kept beating, and the strong air shock wave of Ridao spread out. Sasuke held the alloy ninja sword in one hand, and his figure suddenly turned into lightning and retreated back. On the other side, Xiaoli was also pushed back by the shock. The first time the two played against each other, they were evenly matched. Amazing. Just one hit. The movement caused by the two shocked everyone present. Everyone in Konoha is fine. However, the Gaara trio of Sanagakure are now full of disbelief. The people of Konoha are so scary. That Uchiha guy is fine, but this guy who only knows physical skills is so terrifying. Next second. Excited eyes flickered on Xiaoli's face, 440 broke out again, dong dong, two roars sounded. Straight towards Sasuke. Then Sasuke's figure also turned into lightning, flickering crazily in the field. Lightning style gathered on the alloy ninja swords, slashing crazily at Xiaoli's fist. Then the picture that appeared in front of people's eyes became. The two flickered continuously, and 7 or 8 roars could be heard at the same time, almost at the same time. The electric light trail left by Sasuke's movement is almost connected into an irregular grid in the entire venue. And the astonishing airwaves caused by the same movement of Xiaoli, wave after wave without any pause. A battle of this level is no longer something genin can fight. Teacher Jonin, who is the referee, is sweating profusely now. These two villains seem to tear down the entire stadium. The speed of both of them is so fast, I can't see their movements at all. Naruto tried his best to open his eyes wide, trying to see the movements of the two clearly, but he couldn't do it at all. Not to mention them, Kakashi has already exposed the masked Sharingan, otherwise he couldn't see their movements clearly. In a battle of this level, it is said that two Jonins are fighting. No one would doubt it. However, the two fighting are only genin. Boom. 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 The figures of the two people flickered in the arena. Everyone who watched the fierce battle couldn't take their eyes off it. In such a fierce battle, it is not known who will win in the end. Sensei, do you think Sasuke can win? Little Sakura asked Kakashi. This question is not easy to answer. According to the current situation, the two are considered to be evenly matched. It's really hard to say who can win now. Looking at Kakashi seems to be a little hesitant. Little Sakura was even more worried. Is it possible for that guy to defeat Sasuke? Compared to this, Naruto was more surprised that Xiaoli could beat Sasuke. You know, even he never thought he could defeat Sasuke. Kakashi nodded. It's not impossible. Sasuke's lightning style is extremely fast. This technique gives Sasuke terrifying speed through lightning style's nature transformation. But the improvement brought about is only an increase in speed, but Xiaoli is different. 8 inner gates make Xiaoli's speed and strength extremely terrifying. Even because of the defense formed by the explosive chakra winding, Xiaoli's defense has also improved. So Sasuke needs to use ninja swords to defend and attack against Xiaoli. Saying that, Kakashi glanced at the two people in the field. At this stage, Sasuke's speed is faster, but the attack can't hurt Xiaoli, and Xiaoli's attack is very strong. Once Sasuke doesn't defend with the ninja sword, he will suffer heavy injuries in an instant. Then the battle will be decided. It can be said that it has become a protracted war now. Bang bang. Suddenly, Sasuke's figure flew upside down and hit the wall fiercely. The sudden roar made everyone hold their breath suddenly. Sasuke got hit. Little Sakura said. Teacher Kakashi said just now that if he gets hit, the battle can be said to be over. Doesn't the current situation mean that Sasuke lost? Zzz. The restless thunder made an astonishing roar. It is obviously different from the lightning-fast lightning style. Kakashi was stunned for a moment. What a Sasuke, he actually defended with Chidori in an instant. Kakashi said with a smile on his face. The smoke dissipated, and Sasuke's body surged with thick thunder snakes. Chidori stream. Sasuke panted lightly. The moment he was hit just now, fortunately he forcibly launched Chidori style. In the case of activating lightning style, the control requirements for chakra are not low when activating Chidori. Xiaoli is also a little out of breath now. Under continuous high-intensity attacks, Sasuke defended perfectly. and even launched more powerful attacks. This surprised Xiaoli very much. Just now he managed to seize the opportunity to hit Sasuke, but Xiaoli looked at the scorched bandage on his fist. Lightning style of the defensive type? There is such a technique. As expected of a genius Sasuke, he can even develop defensive moves in lightning style ninjutsu. Xiaoli turned to look at his teacher, and at this moment Might Guy also understood Xiaoli's meaning. Let's go. If you want to do it, do it. Such an enemy deserves your best shot. Seeing the teacher's smile, Xiaoli also smiled on his face. Sasuke-kun, it looks like I have to use my last trump card. If you don't have stronger moves, then the victory of this battle belongs to me. The final trump card. The cheeks of Shikamaru and the others twitched a little, and there is a killer in this situation? What kind of monster is this Lee Locke? Sasuke is very pervert, but this guy doesn't seem to be much different. Guy, if you continue, something will happen. Kakashi, at this time, no matter what the reason is, there is no way to stop a man who is already quite enlightened from issuing a final challenge to his opponent. 8 inner gates, 5th gate, Duman. Open. Boom. Opening another door, Xiao Ji's aura instantly climbed to another level. Even Sasuke felt the pressure this time. The 8 inner gates of the 5th gate, this is really not good. To say that Sasuke is most confident that he can block 8 inner gates should only have one move. Lightning style, endless lightning pool, but the preparation time for this trick takes a few minutes. It was too late. Now there is only, since this is the case, then I won't keep my hand. What happens next is beyond my control. Lee. The moment the voice fell, the thunder on Sasuke's body changed. The wind and thunder, crack, accompanied by an astonishing roar of thunder. The lightning-style chakra flow on Sasuke is different. Thick thunder snakes jumped out from Sasuke's body. Is there any difference between this guy, and just now? Shikamaru looked at Sasuke, who didn't seem to have changed much. Choji also frowned and said, it seems that the lightning-style chakra on Sasuke is a bit out of control. Sasuke doesn't seem to be able to stop Lee like this, Ino said worriedly. However, hear their doubts. Kakashi smiled. Don't underestimate Sasuke. This move, blast and thunder, looks the same, but the difference is completely different. Hearing this, the Jonins were also a little curious. Kakashi, what's the difference? Yurihong axe. Ninjutsu developed by Sasuke, lightning style, extreme speed. It is divided into 2 forms. The first one is the flashlight that was used just now. This form of Sasuke can rely on his own consciousness to control his body, and use lightning style to explode at ultimate speed. But the second form, blast and thunder, is different. Although it is also lightning style, Nua Wang's technique, but Sasuke cannot control the wind and thunder, and all rely on the body's conditioned reflex to respond to the enemy's movements. In this state, you don't even need to think. This is the lightning style, the ultimate speed life. Crack. In the next second, Xiaoli just wanted to make a move, and his left arm swung slightly. However, the picture that appeared immediately after that was that Sasuke turned into a thunderbolt and came to Xiaoli's side in an instant. Accompanied by the thunderbolt's fist, it hit Xiaoli's right cheek directly and fiercely. The moment Li Shang was hit, he wanted to fight back, but the next second Sasuke made a big circle and appeared behind him. He kicked Li hard in the back. During the moving process, the exaggerated movements of Commander's assistants directly stunned everyone present. Including the 3rd generation are stunned. Although Sasuke's movements are exaggerated, it doesn't even look like a human being is moving, but the speed is several times faster than before. Crack. Sasuke's body is constantly moving along with the lightning. Continuous attacks sounded continuously. Xiaoli stood in place. He could only make some simple movements, and he couldn't even do it without hitting. Although Sasuke's attack power is not too strong, every blow just made Xiaoli feel severe pain in his body. No serious injuries were caused, but Xiaoli couldn't fight back, and Sasuke's explosive speed far exceeded his speed of opening the 5th gate. Sasuke attacked like a storm. Xiaoli couldn't keep up with Sasuke's rhythm at all. They could only stand still and be beaten passively. Beep. When Sasuke suddenly appeared in front of him, he punched Xiaoli hard on the jaw. The moment he was blown up from the ground with a punch, Xiaoli's consciousness began to blur. However, the next second, Sasuke's attack has not yet stopped. It flashed directly in the air, accompanied by astonishing thunder, and directly bombarded Xiaoli's chest fiercely. Enough 660. Suddenly Guy's figure appeared, but Guy tried to block Sasuke, but found that Sasuke's attack suddenly changed its trajectory. Basically at the moment of his release, Sasuke's foot kicked towards him. There was a heavy impact, and Sasuke kicked Guy's heart in the face. However, Guy did not retreat but took the opportunity to grab Xiaoli in the air. After landing, Sasuke also released the Gale Thunder at the same time. Looking at Guy with a gloomy face, "I'm sorry Mr. Might Guy, my blast and thunder are out of control." Kakashi had already said it before, and Guy didn't pay much attention to it, but looked at Lee who had lost consciousness in his arms. Guy smiled helplessly. "Unfortunately, I still lost in the end. Although the result is a pity, Might Guy agrees with the process. Because Xiaoli has tried his best. In this case, even if you lose, you have no regrets." But Might Guy didn't expect Sasuke to be able to burst out with that terrifying speed. Without self-control, relying only on the body's instinctive reaction, the attack launched is completely unbelievable. DBAF can be so fast. Incredible imagination. It is impossible for a normal person to think of such a method to increase the speed. But Sasuke thought of it, and successfully developed such a technique. Just listening to Kakashi, I still can't feel the horror of this technique, but after I really see it, I understood that the scary part of this technique lies in the overwhelming attacks. Rely on the body's instinctive response to respond to the enemy's movements. In this case, once the enemy is hit, there is basically no room for fighting back. Because no matter what kind of counterattack you want to make next, Sasuke can take the first shot and directly interrupt your attack. And it will make the best and most perfect attack. Under such circumstances, Xiaoli had no qualifications to fight back, and became even more unqualified to fight back. Thinking of this, Guy glanced at Sasuke who was panting. "Congratulations Sasuke, you won." And at this moment Kakashi also came to Sasuke's side. "It's all right." Sasuke shook his head. "Chakra consumes a bit too much. The consumption of using lightning stone fire is less than half of the consumption of blast and thunder. Although it does not rely on consciousness to act, the consumption of chakra is not so fast." "Referee, did I win?" The referee who had been in a daze suddenly heard Sasuke's question, and then he reacted and nodded quickly. Sasuke's victory was declared. First qualifying match, Uchiha Sasuke vs Lee Locke. The winner is Uchiha Sasuke. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host for beating Lee Locke. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Get ninjutsu lab. Use almost once. Close black lens bracket. This reward for defeating Lee is now making Sasuke unhappy. If it weren't for relying on the system, I'm afraid I wouldn't be Lee's opponent at all. This guy is Konoha's genius, but unfortunately, Xiaoli didn't have any bright moments afterwards. In the future, at most, it will only open to the 6th gate, which is a pity. But Xiaoli's injury was not serious this time, so there shouldn't be a big problem after all. In the future, Xiaoli may continue to become stronger, and the situation in the original book should not happen. What a wonderful battle. Asuma looked at Sasuke who was taken off by Kakashi, and Ji who was sent to therapy by Might Guy. Hongyi nodded at the side. "I didn't expect the battle between two genins to be so exciting." As she spoke, Hong glanced at her disciple. "You guys have to work harder. Don't be pulled too far away by those two monsters." At this moment Sasuke has left the venue for the qualifiers. Already won, then the next step is the final. As for other people's games, Sasuke doesn't have the time to watch them. Although I don't know who will fight with whom next, but now Sasuke is more concerned about Xiaoli's 8 inner gates. In the battle just now, his Sharingan has copied a large amount of data. This makes Sasuke have a lot of ideas in his mind now. Physical skills are really too weak. Although with the lightning speed blessing, Sasuke's melee combat ability has been greatly improved. But there is still one thing missing, and that is the means to effectively kill the enemy. If you encounter an enemy who is not weak in physical skills, a guy like Lee, plus the opponent has terrifying physical skills, then Sasuke may not be able to win the opponent lightly relying on super speed. For example, if the opponent is replaced by a character like Fourth Raikage, then I am afraid that simply relying on Lightning Style's rapid speed will have no way at all. Even if it is matched with Chidori, it may not necessarily be able to defeat the other party. So it is necessary to develop a stronger body technique. Now that there is Lightning Style's rapid coordination, a powerful physical attack method can instantly double Sasuke's strength. It just so happens that this time the reward, the ninjutsu laboratory, is limited to developing ninjutsu. After watching Sasuke of 8 Inner Gates, I now have a good idea. I don't know if the combination of things copied from Lee and Sasuke's talent can be realized in the trick of Vice Admiral in the laboratory. System. I want to enter the ninjutsu lab. Open black lens bracket. Entering the ninjutsu lab. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Available time: 3 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Currently, the authority of the ninjutsu laboratory is locked, and it is limited to the development of ninjutsu. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. As host sure to start. Close black lens bracket. Ninjutsu as ninjutsu. It happened that Sasuke also felt that he lacked a powerful physical attack method. Ninjutsu, so-called physical jutsu combined with chakra. Unlike pure body skills like 8 Inner Gates. Let's start. 2 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds. When the countdown started, Sasuke also left to race against the clock. A second of time is not meant to be wasted. After all, 3 hours seems like a lot, but for the tricks Sasuke wants to develop next, it is not so easy to develop. The ninjutsu laboratory is not omnipotent. If you want to develop a certain technique, you must combine Sasuke's own ideas and talents to develop it successfully. And this time, a special acceleration technique of Lee was copied through Sharingan. Add to that the circumstances of the 8 Inner Gates. A trick that the current Sasuke wants to develop, called Thunder Breath. This is a trick from a certain Ghost Slayer. Although the number of Thunder Breath is not much, it is just enough for Sasuke. And it is enough to make up for Sasuke's lack of physical attack. 8 Inner Gates. Although Sasuke only saw the state of opening the 5th gate this time, Sasuke had in his mind what it would be like when the 8 gates were fully open. I remember everything clearly. Open black lens bracket. Capturing the thoughts in host's mind. Close black lens bracket. According to host's memory, the scheme, for a moment Sasuke felt as if something had been pulled out of his mind. But the time passed quickly, and Sasuke himself didn't feel anything at this time. Just when he opened his eyes again, the same blue villain gathered in front of Sasuke. Open black lens bracket. Simulation completed. Close black lens bracket. The blue villain appeared, and in Sasuke's eyes, he could see the details of various parts of the blue villain's body. The location of these details' chakra flow in the body is also somewhat different. Thunder Breath -1 Shape -. Thunderbolt Flash. The villain's expression suddenly seemed to become very dignified, followed by a subtle change in the rhythm of his breathing. Chakra, which should be flowing normally in the body, has become a little strange in the law of flow between medicines. In an instant, the villain rose into the air and charged forward rapidly. The powerful thunder burst out instantly along with the long knife in his hand. In an instant, the thunder light suddenly appeared, and when the rich light dissipated, the person had already appeared in another place. It's not over yet. Breath of Thunder, but there are 7 in total. And just the first Thunderbolt Flash can play a lot of tricks. 6 consecutive flashes, 8 consecutive flashes, and a Thunderbolt Flash. Each style of breathing is just a fixed form, but how to use it depends on the user's own adaptability. And the next Breath of Thunder, the second type, the soul of Taoism. But it's not just as simple as speed. The power of the 5 strikes in an instant, with oneself as the core, is amazing. The consecutive 7 moves were demonstrated by the blue villain. All have been simulated. Sasuke looked at the little blue figure carefully, and found that the details seemed to use the method about 8 inner gates. The power of the 8 gate burst out in an instant, which is obviously combined with the 8 inner gates to develop Thunder's breath. If it is said that Xiaoli's 8 inner gates directly used a special method to forcibly open the prohibition in his body. So now the breath of thunder is to use the method of breathing to open a certain door in an instant. It burst out its astonishing power, and then used it to directly form a powerful attack. However, because it is only a short burst, or even just a momentary burst, the harm to the body is far from being as strong as actually opening the 8 gate. It's just that if you overuse it, your body will not be able to bear it. Open black lens bracket. Whether to start the first simulation exercise. Close black lens bracket. Let's start. Sasuke glanced at the time, and there was less than an hour and a half left. The development of Breath of Thunder this time seems to have taken a lot of time. But if it can be successfully developed, the little time spent is worth it. In the next second, Sasuke's body began to be controlled by the system, and he began to make various movements. At the same time, the rhythm of breathing also became a little strange. With Sasuke's talent, he found the key in an instant. Adjusting the state of chakra by breathing can also make chakra burst and calm down. After the first simulation, Sasuke has been able to fully master the Breath of Thunder. But this time there were 40 minutes left, enough for Sasuke to run 2 more simulations. So Sasuke continued with the simulation of Breath of Thunder. Sasuke completes 3 simulations until the time runs out. At the same time, the mastery of Thunder Breath. It also went directly from entry to Grandmaster level. But you need to keep practicing. There are still 7 days until the final of the Chunin exam. During this period of time, Sasuke can practice the Breath of Thunder well. 0.0 At this moment, the qualifiers are basically coming to an end. Basically the winners are no different from the original, Naruto, Gaara Neji, Temari, Shikamaru plus Sasuke. Qualifiers end. Naruto sees no sign of Sasuke. When did that guy leave? Hearing this, Kakashi smiled. Leave after the match. Then what are you in a hurry to do? Why don't you want to watch my game? Naruto said with some dissatisfaction. Kakashi, Sasuke said he has to hurry up and practice. Clam. Naruto was stunned for a moment, and Shikamaru and others were also a little surprised. They are all strong like that, and they are still cultivating desperately. This will not let other people live. He is a genius in the first place, and he still works so hard. It seems to me that there is no way to catch up with him. Naruto said with a sigh. However, even though he said so, Kakashi saw the fighting spirit in Naruto's eyes. 7 days, in the finals, I will impress you, Sasuke. At this moment, outside Konoha village, in Sasuke's secret base. Crackling, thunder flashes in the forest. Immediately afterwards, one after another, the big trees collapsed. They were all cut off in half, and the incisions fell incomparably. Thunder still erupted in the forest. Sasuke held the ninja sword in his hand, watching the thunder flowing on the blade. Thunder's breath. This move, coordinated with the speed of the gods, it's perfect. Chunin exam final. Early in the morning Sasuke had already packed up and was ready to go to the examination room. But before that, he still gave Bai the big beheading sword that would never be beheaded again. At the same time, he ordered Bai to hide near the Hokage building. After all, the Chunin exam will end soon. To be precise, Sasuke will start his plan to steal the sealed book before it ends. During the 7 days, Sasuke not only used it to get familiar with the Breath of Thunder, but also refined chakra and contacted the seal. All have made some progress. At the same time, in terms of physical skills, Sasuke also got a huge improvement because of a battle with Xiaoli. Physical arts mastered. Basic physical arts, small success, right pointing arrow, big success, Hatake sword technique, great success, ninjutsu, thunder's breath, great success, close black lens bracket. In 7 days, Sasuke's chakra volume also increased again. Now the big 060 is about 4 times that of Kakashi. This level of chakra is not too small. Even among Jonin, Sasuke has a relatively large amount of chakra today. The evaluation given by the system has also changed. Open black lens bracket chakra amount, more closed black lens bracket, and for 7 days, Sasuke also put in a lot of effort in practicing the Heaven's Curse seal. The removal of the Heaven's Curse seal has also been greatly improved. Special status. Seal of Heaven's Curse, 57% removed. Now using the Seal of Heaven, Sasuke has perfectly adapted to the full opening of the first form. The second form can also open apart. Of course, it can be fully opened, but Sasuke's body will be damaged by the curse seal. That the first form is enough to use. The power of chakra in the spell seal mode is already amazing. At the same time, Sasuke's pupil power was strengthened again, and the effect of the Sharingan advanced cultivation method was indeed very astonishing. Basically, it is in effect every day, and Sasuke himself can clearly feel that his pupil power is increasing rapidly. Now Sasuke feels that his pupil power seems to have reached a 0 point. At the same time, the Sharingan of Sanguyu also began to undergo some changes after 7 days of cultivation. Sasuke even felt that once the 3-Tomo Sharingan was turned on, his eyes' chakra were burning rapidly. It was as if something was about to pop out of the eyes. But I can't feel anything specific. But Sasuke speculates that this may be a sign of Mangekyo's imminent awakening. Once the Mangekyo Sharingan is turned on, Sasuke will undergo earth-shaking changes. Sasuke's own 2 pupil techniques, Amaterasu and Flame Control, are quite terrifying moves. But even though it just feels a little bit worse, I don't know when I will be able to break through, even if it is so little. Going out, Sasuke was preparing to move towards the examination room, but unexpectedly Naruto was waiting at Sasuke's door. How? Are you ready, Sasuke? Hearing this, Sasuke nodded. Have you been waiting here long? Hearing this, Naruto jumped down and looked at Sasuke. Of course, I have gone through 7 days of special training. Today I must surprise you. Naturally, I have to come early and wait for you. Special training? Probably training with Jiraiya. But at this time, Naruto should have learned the summoning technique, and he is also the Gamma Bunta of summoning Mount Myoboku. That Toad's enhancement of combat power is not a little bit. Is it? Then let's go. Sasuke walked ahead, and Naruto followed quickly. Not long after the two walked out, little Sakura was also waiting here. The 3 of Class 7 went to the exam venue together. At this moment, the final of the Chunin exam, today in that special venue, has already been filled with many spectators. The purpose of the joint Chunin exam is to test the strength of each ninja village. At the same time, Konoha also wants to promote his own force. The effect is like a military parade. Since it is the final, it is natural to let as many people see as possible, so that we can better show off Konoha's force. However, I came to the venue and listened to the voices of the audience. Sasuke took a look at Orochimaru, who was with 3rd generation, and soon these people stopped laughing. Chunin exam finals now begin. First round. Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto, who was waiting for the waiting room, jumped up immediately. Is it my turn to play Uzumaki Naruto first? Very good. Sasuke is going to show you the results of my special training today. Guaranteed to surprise you. Saying that, Naruto jumped directly onto the guardrail, ready to jump directly into the field from here. However, in the next second, another player's name rang out. Battle, Uchiha Sasuke. What? Naruto, who was about to jump off, suddenly looked back at Sasuke. My opponent turned out to be Sasuke Yu. The little Sakura in the auditorium was also stunned for a moment, and turned to look at teacher Kakashi beside her. Sensei, why did Naruto and Sasuke get together? If we separate, both of us can pass the exam. Kakashi smiled when he heard this. It's not that if 2 people are assigned together, there is no chance of passing. This exam is not about the result, but the process. In the waiting room, Sasuke glanced at Naruto. It seems that not only can I see the results of your practice, but I can also personally experience them. Said Sasuke directly jumped down, came to the center of the arena and looked at the referee this time, Shiranui Genma, one of Konoha's elite jonin. But Sasuke couldn't see where the strength of this guy was. It doesn't matter that the focus is not on him. As the first player to play, Sasuke has attracted the attention of many people in Konoha. Whether it's 2.2 or ninja, everyone has heard of Sasuke. The kid from the Uchiha family. I fought with the Hyuga clan's goblins before, and I managed to win. Isn't the one fighting him the demon fox? Hey! The third generation is not allowed to talk about demon foxes. Naruto jumped down too. Shiranui Genma glanced at the two of them. You are in the same class. Since this is the case, you should pay attention to yourself. Don't try too hard. This is just an exam. It's best not to cause casualties. Naruto and Sasuke looked at each other, not listening to Shiranui Genma's words at all. At this moment Sasuke had a strange premonition. Naruto, is it impossible to escape the fateful battle? You guys start on your own when you're ready. Shiranui Shuenjin silently backed away after speaking. Sasuke and Naruto are obviously friends or something. The battle between them should be very measured, so there is no need to worry too much. Naruto on the field looked at Sasuke with a smile on his face that he had never seen before. I didn't expect that one day I would be able to fight with you under the eyes of everyone. Sasuke, this moment is simply amazing for me. Hearing this, Sasuke smiled. It seems that Naruto also regards himself as the target of chasing. But if you choose yourself as your goal, the effort you need to make is not a little bit. Naruto straightened his forehead protector gently, raised his head and looked at Sasuke seriously. Sasuke, don't be merciful, let me experience your real strength. Making such a request, Sasuke was a little speechless. It is good. Then let's get started. Naruto raised his hand and directly prepared to seal. Seeing this, Sasuke also put on a defensive posture, and Naruto knew how to fight without even thinking about it. This guy first throws 180 shadow clones over, and it is normal to consume a wave of 1 carat. Multiple shadow clone technique, bang bang bang. A series of blank eyes erupted in the arena. Hundreds of Naruto appeared in an instant. Such a number of clones really scared many viewers. This demon fox brat is quite capable. He actually created so many clones in an instant. But is it useful to have so many clones? Whether it is useful or not will soon be known. I'm going upstairs. Sasuke. Time's end. Sasuke ticked his hands. Come on. As he said, he waved his hands lightly. Dealing with these clones of Naruto, Sasuke could easily handle them simply by relying on ninjutsu. When the first batch of Naruto rushed up, Sasuke stood in place, with the toes of his right foot lightly pointing to the ground, centering on his right foot. Move your left leg, change your position, and face Naruto who is rushing up with both hands. Sasuke will attack directly. Bang, bang, bang. A series of white smoke exploded beside Sasuke. Wave after wave of Naruto, attacking one after another. However, Naruto's progress surprised Sasuke as soon as the shot was made. Physical skills have improved a lot. Naruto. Sasuke raised his hand to defuse Naruto's attack, and at the same time easily eliminated his clone with one punch. Kakashi in the stands also nodded. Naruto's progress is indeed very fast, and his physical skills have improved to this level, which is indeed very good. Little Sakura froze for a moment. Even Mr. Kakashi asked Naruto, did this guy really improve so fast? In the confrontation of physical skills, Sasuke's fists turned into countless afterimages, easily smashing all of Naruto's clones. 3 minutes of engagement. All of Naruto's clones were blown up by Sasuke. Naruto, who stood still and didn't make a move, became more dignified. I can't find any flaws at all. This guy Sasuke is really hard to deal with. In the waiting room, Hyuga Neji was also staring at Sasuke. Isn't this guy showing any flaws? Naruto's avatar is already not weak, but under continuous combined attacks, he was easily defeated by him just using physical skills. Gaara at the side glanced at Neji. Look at his feet. After being reminded by Gaara, Neji suddenly realized that the place where Sasuke's right foot was standing had not moved at all. Could it be that this guy just stood there just now? Neji clenched his fists fiercely. Originally he wanted to challenge Sasuke. But if it was him who attacked just now, he would have no way to easily defeat all of Naruto's clones standing still. But Sasuke did it with ease. Good progress, Naruto, but it's not enough. After Sasuke blasted the last clone with a punch, he looked up at Naruto in the distance. Naruto smiled, as expected of Sasuke-kun, but I won't just give up like this. Then Naruto took out the hidden weapon from the ninja bag. Seeing this, Sasuke smiled. The level of Naruto equipment is not very good. Multiple shadow clone technique. Bang bang bang. Another clone. This is what I want. Sasuke seemed to understand what Naruto was trying to do. This time, the 15 clones neatly formed a circle, tightly surrounding Sasuke. Naruto took out his hidden weapon. Since physical skills don't work, then I have to use other methods. Sasuke also reached out and took out the ninja bag. Naruto, you should know my hidden weapon level. Naruto nodded. Of course he knew. Sasuke's hidden weapon throwing was not bad at all compared to physical skills. But it doesn't stop Naruto from trying. 15 clones, this overwhelming hidden weapon. Naruto believes that he will be able to find Sasuke's flaws. As long as Sasuke reveals a flaw, it's time for Naruto to make a move. 15 Narutos neatly took out their concealed weapons, raised their hands and shot 15 shurikens straight at Sasuke. And at this moment Sasuke opened his eyes. Sharingan opened instantly. 3 Tomo rolled slowly in Sasuke's eyes. In an instant, after capturing all the trajectories of the hidden weapons, the corners of Sasuke's mouth slightly raised. A faint thunderbolt was transmitted to the Shuriken 223, and then Sasuke also directly threw a shuriken. The shuriken that was spinning in the air was loaded with the first Naruto's shuriken straight at an astonishing speed, but the next second when the hidden weapon collided sounded. Sasuke's shuriken quickly shifted the target with a flash of lightning. With the help of Naruto's shuriken, it changed the direction of movement. Swept directly and quickly to the right. Jingle. Jingle. 14 consecutive crisp impact sounds sounded. Finally, the shuriken was inserted straight and obliquely on the ground 3 steps away from Sasuke's right, and the residual light of the thunder and lightning slowly disappeared. This scene, it directly stunned all the audience present, including the ninjas. One shuriken blocked the enemy's 15 shurikens, and it was done in an instant. This kind of throwing technique has not only become stronger, it is simply terrifying. How did he do it? How could it be possible to knock down 15 hidden weapons in an instant with just one shuriken? Even with the insight of Sharingan, it's impossible to achieve this level. As a ninja who specializes in hidden weapons every day, Sasuke's operation directly made her feel extremely shocked. Concealed weapon. Can you still use it like this? The scene became silent. Countless eyes focused on Sasuke. At this moment, Hiruzen, who is third Hokage, looked at Sasuke with a little surprise. Although there is Sharingan Sake, his insight has been strengthened, allowing Sasuke to gain insight far beyond ordinary people. But shooting down 15 shurikens with one shuriken is indeed not something that every Uchiha person can do. Amazing nerve reflexes, powerful insight, and ultimate control of the body are all indispensable. To be able to do that at this age, third generation also had to sigh, it's really old. Now the little ghosts have grown up. Although watching Sasuke's amazing performance has a feeling of aging. But third generation is still very happy in his heart. The stronger the young people in the sleepy leaves, the brighter the future of Konoha. But what he may not know is that Konoha, which looks vibrant now, will soon be beaten back to its original shape. Field. After Naruto was surprised, he still expressed his disbelief. He didn't believe that Sasuke's 2 hands alone could deal with his 15 avatars, a total of 30 hands. Since Sasuke, you are so powerful, then I can rest assured that I will not be polite. Naruto of throwing skills can only be regarded as barely a few. With such great skill as Sasuke, he can't knock down so many shuriken with one shuriken. Nor do I intend to do so. For Naruto, skill is not as straightforward as quantity. Sasuke, you can block 15 pieces, so how about 25, 35, hundreds of pieces? It was said that Sasuke knew that Naruto probably wanted to see how long he could last. However, Sasuke didn't answer, but directly answered Naruto with gestures. Both hands took out a shuriken at the same time. Sasuke looked at Naruto. His eyes were full of provocation. Seeing this, Naruto didn't intend to ask any more questions. Apparently Sasuke wanted him to try it himself. Then let's get started. With a thought, Naruto's avatars started throwing shurikens crazily. Even with kunai, the avatars threw them in the direction of Sasuke crazily. Almost instantly, dense hidden weapons raged towards Sasuke from all angles. Ordinary ninjas would have been stunned when they saw such a scene. The quantity is simply too much. Naruto's clone throwing is also on par with Naruto himself, although it's not that bad. But it definitely has nothing to do with good words. His attack method is to throw all his hidden weapons as quickly as possible in an instant. Having seen Sasuke's previous performance, Naruto's behavior now made some Jonin couldn't help grinning. This guy is just throwing around. This is not a throwing technique at all. However, whether it is thrown indiscriminately or not, the power is still there. Just about to be hit, I am afraid that he will be turned into a hedgehog in an instant. Everyone looked at Sasuke, who stood still and didn't intend to use ninjutsu to defend or fight back. He raised his hands and crossed them on his chest, and Sasuke's Sharingan began to spin wildly in an instant. Capturing the hidden weapons lacing from all angles, Sasuke's hands turned into afterimages in the next second. Throwing the hidden weapon crazily, and at the same time, Sasuke's lightning style is attached to the hidden weapon. Lightning style, discharge. Let the lightning attach to the hidden weapon, which can strengthen the power and speed of the hidden weapon. This allowed Sasuke to rely on such a little shuriken in his hand. Block all hidden weapons more than 10 times larger than itself. Next second, clinking sounds frantically sounded around Sasuke. Sparks burst out one after another. Watching the dazzling sparks continue to explode at a position about 3 meters around Sasuke. The dense black shadows collided constantly, and the lightning flashed from time to time around Sasuke. Forming an irregular arc, it continuously bounced away the hidden weapons thrown by Naruto. A full 10 seconds, crazy hidden weapon collision. The tinkling sound of constant thinking made all the ninjas gradually become dull. Although they expected Sasuke to block it at the beginning, when this scene really happened, they were all stunned. How far has this kid's concealed weapon throwing technique gone? This question is indeed very curious, but it is even more curious. Why, you have to go out of your way to practice throwing. No matter how strong this technique is practiced, it will not be very effective. Is this the thinking of a genius? Even if it is something like kunai throwing technique, it must be cultivated to a level that ordinary people can hardly achieve. Horrible. Uchiha Sasuke, this brat has already reached an unbelievable level in kunai throwing. When, after the last kunai collided, it fell to the ground. Sasuke also slowly stopped his hands, looking at the empty hands. He looked up at Naruto again. All the hidden weapons of this guy's avatar were also used up. All blocked. Naruto stared blankly at Sasuke. Closing his gaping mouth, Naruto silently swallowed a mouthful of saliva. As expected of Sasuke, your strength is really disappointing sometimes. If it was before, Naruto was probably about to give up. After all, physical attack and hidden weapon bombardment are completely useless against Sasuke. He has no other means, but it's different now. Naruto still has the last killer weapon that hasn't been used. Raise your hands to print. Seeing Naruto's actions, it is still multiple shadow clone technique. Do you still want to try? Is this going to end a protracted war with myself? Sasuke smiled, then come on. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations host, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Uchiha throwing improvement close black lens bracket open black lens bracket Uchiha throwing technique, small success right pointing arrow big success, close black lens bracket. Unexpectedly, with Naruto's help, Sasuke's throwing technique has improved to a new stage. Good. Multiple shadow clone technique. Boom. Hundreds of Naruto's avatars appeared again, and the ninjas in the stands began to feel something was wrong seeing this avatar. How big is this kid's chakra, that he can even cast shadow clone? Damn it, I'm afraid I don't have as much chakra as this brat. Is he a monster at this age? How is it possible that the amount of chakra is so huge? But it's useless to have more clones, he can't beat Uchiha Sasuke. Hearing this, Kakashi squinted his eyes. Based on his understanding of Naruto, if he didn't have any ideas, Naruto would not attack indiscriminately. Naruto, who seems carefree, is actually very thoughtful. That's not necessarily true. Naruto often brings us unexpected surprises. Sasuke, don't take it lightly. Naruto's clone appeared, and the white smoke spread out for a moment so that Sasuke couldn't see where Naruto's main body was. Although I don't know what exactly Naruto wants to do. But Sasuke doesn't think Naruto can beat himself. No matter how many avatars there are, it is useless. Raising his hand, Sasuke poses like Xiaoli. With one hand behind his back, his right hand stretches forward to face hundreds of clones in front of him. Sasuke ticked lightly with his index finger. Then he showed a wicked smile. Come on. See what else you can do. In the next second, Naruto's clones seemed to be irritated as well. They rushed up one after another, and began to launch continuous attacks in the direction of Sasuke. This time, Naruto's avatars cooperated more tacitly than before. But Sasuke puts more emphasis on fixing the toes of his right foot in place, and swings his left leg with knowledge to change the standing posture of the body with the change of movements. He raised his hand and clenched his fist, and instantly blasted out a punch. Drop the closest clone in seconds, step forward and turn around, hit the clone behind you with a counter elbow to instantly cut off the attack, and directly blow it up with a counter attack. Bang bang bang. Sasuke's movements are smooth and smooth. For a while, the ninjas in the stands felt pleasing to the eye. The 900 doesn't have any redundant movements. In the face of continuous attacks, it can instantly seize the flaw every time and kill it with one blow. Accurately speaking, the number of enemies prevents him from having too many useless actions. Every extra movement will compress the time to deal with the next attack. Under this kind of continuous attack, he can still make zero mistakes. This kid is really a freak. The viewer seems to be able to see exactly what Sasuke's best choice is at each moment. But you must know that if you are a party, you can't be like the audience, condescending and seeing everything in your eyes. It is not easy to react quickly, and it is even more difficult to maintain a zero-miss state like Sasuke. Perhaps it is not difficult for ordinary Jonin to block Naruto's attack, but it is not so difficult for ordinary Jonin to achieve Sasuke's very ornamental. Boom, boom, boom. The clones exploded continuously, and Sasuke was surrounded by a vast expanse of whiteness. It was completely shrouded in white smoke, as Naruto's clone was quickly defeated by Sasuke. The number is also greatly reduced, and in the blink of an eye, there are only a dozen left. At this time, Sasuke looked at the remaining clones, and even put away his left hand. The right hand easily dealt with these clones, and now Sasuke carefully observed the remaining clones. Sasuke wants to see where Naruto's body is. A clone suddenly approached, and Sasuke turned his head to look at the clone. Although Shadow Clone's combat effectiveness is not very good, these clones do not cry as the forbidden technique, and each clone is almost the same. Even some of Sasuke's Sharingan can't tell who is the Numenon. However, by carefully observing the subtleties, it is still possible to quickly determine whether this is the main body. This suddenly approaching avatar is not the main body. The main body of Naruto. Where is it? While thinking about Sasuke holding down the fist coming from the avatar with one hand, he turned around and punched him directly. With the white smoke exploding,
Sasuke shifted his target to prepare for the next clone's attack.
But at this moment, Sasuke felt something moving under his feet. For a sudden moment Sasuke froze for a moment. Could it be Naruto? Boom! Suddenly the ground beneath Sasuke's feet exploded, accompanied by Naruto's signature roar. Naruto, who suddenly sprang up from the ground, made an uppercut and hit Sasuke's jaw straight. At this moment, Sasuke faced two attacks from the clone and Naruto's body. I want to escape. It's too late. Sasuke looked at Naruto, who came out from below in surprise. Careless. Naruto really deserves to be the #1 ninja in unexpectedness. It really blows my mind. Bang bang. In the next second, the dull, DBFC, bombardment sounded. Sasuke's body was turning in the air, spinning 360 degrees in the air. Sasuke unloaded and landed not far away. After the hit, Naruto stood still, looking at his fist excitedly. Hit. I hit it. Finally hit it. At this moment, all the audience in the auditorium froze for a moment. From underground? This guy can think of this kind of attack. No. Even if you attack from the ground, you should hit it. Didn't you notice? That kid from the Uchiha family, from the beginning until now, his right foot never left the spot. The brat took advantage of this. He was sure that Uchiha Sasuke would never leave the place until the last moment, so he was able to beat the minister. Kakashi smiled happily at this time. Although it was just a hit, it actually didn't have any impact on Sasuke. But Naruto's progress surprised Kakashi. This guy Naruto, he's pretty amazing. Little Sakura on the side spoke, and the Konoha 12 young powers in the stands also nodded their heads. Naruto, who seems unreliable, can still have such a wonderful performance. Although it's just one punch, it's really not easy to get Commander to help. But Naruto just hit, but didn't hit Commander. At this time, the ninja knife in Sasuke's hand was lying across his chest, and the blow just now hit the ninja in Sasuke's chest. In the nick of time, Sasuke blocked the attack with a ninja knife. Sasuke had a smile on his face. He raised his hand and pulled out a saber flower, and the next second he stabbed the ninja sword straight into the ground. Beep. Lightning-style discharge. The thunder that erupted in an instant spread out, instantly destroying Naruto's remaining avatars. On the ninja knife that was filled with thunder, Sasuke slowly drew the ninja knife. Hang Dao looked up at Naruto, who had only one body left. Good. Being able to think about attacking from underground also took advantage of my not wanting to leave my place. Naruto, your growth is amazing, Sasuke laughed. At this time, the smile on Naruto's face disappeared quickly. Sasuke just wiped out his clone with a single knife. If Sasuke did the same before, then his plan would be useless. To put it bluntly, it wasn't because Sasuke was waterproof and his attack couldn't hit Commander just now. Sure enough, if you don't show your true skills, let alone defeating Sasuke, it is very difficult even to defeat Commander. Naruto sighed. In the next second, Sasuke's eyes shrank suddenly. Open black lens bracket triggered by the battle of fate. Close black lens bracket. Host is destined to be the bonder. This battle is inevitable, although the time and place can be changed, but the battle is inevitable. Please host to prevent the opponent from touching the forehead protector, and win the battle without leaving traces on the forehead protector. Reward. Special pupil art, pupil surgery? The reward turned out to be pupil surgery. Sasuke was shocked. This is interesting. Fateful battle. Sasuke glanced at Naruto, who had an ugly face but a firm look in his eyes. It seems that Naruto still has a stronger trick that has not been used. It was just some tentative attacks by Naruto before. To be precise, perhaps Naruto has already made countless assumptions about the situation of fighting against himself in Naruto's heart. And the attack just now was part of Naruto's imagination. Thinking of this, the thunder on Sasuke's body became more intense. Chakra started to flow at a high speed, and Sasuke was about to get serious. Even the system recognizes Naruto's strength, so Sasuke naturally has no right to continue to underestimate Naruto. After all, This guy is indeed full of surprises. Naruto, who is the protagonist, will hang up at some point. Sasuke also had to be careful. You really impress me. Naruto's next battle, I will take the initiative. Hearing Sasuke's words, Naruto was both happy and worried at the same time. Sasuke took the initiative to attack, which is a terrible thing for him. Sasuke completely crushed him, whether it was body art or ninjutsu. Naruto wanted to defeat Sasuke, and that was the only thing he could bet on. Thinking of this, Naruto slapped his face, then come. The war situation has changed to the present situation. In the lounge, Gaara smiled coldly. It seems that the battle is almost over. The huge disparity in strength has already been felt. In this case, if Sasuke still takes the initiative to attack, then Naruto basically has no room to resist. Not only Gaara thinks so, but everyone else also judges this way in their hearts. Sasuke held the ninja sword with his backhand. Looking at Sasuke's knife-holding posture, Kakashi's eyes flickered. Hitaki's sword skills, how amazing it will be in your hands. Sasuke, don't let me down. The former Muyi Baya was an existence that made the entire ninja world fearful. Unfortunately, however, Kakashi was not able to reach his father's heights. However, now that the sword skills are inherited by Sasuke, Kakashi hopes that Sasuke can reproduce the glory of Muyi Baya. Zzz. Thunder jumped on the ninja knife. A thunderbolt also burst out in Sasuke's eyes. Mr. Kakashi, how did Sasuke unleash the thunder on the ninja sword? Little Sakura finally couldn't bear to ask this question. All the while they noticed that Sasuke was able to use lightning style anytime, anywhere, even without a seal. But what exactly this technique is really curious. Originally, if you can't understand this kind of thing, you can't understand it, and you can't ask about it. But now little Sakura couldn't help being curious. When this question was asked, the other 12 little powerhouses in the auditorium also pricked up their ears and listened carefully. Even with the Jonins, Might Guy, Asuma, Kurenai Yuhi, Mitarashi Anko and others are curious. This is a lightning-style ninjutsu developed by Sasuke himself, and it can directly activate lightning style without seals. Why? Lightning can flow in his body, and the specific effect is the same as Sasuke's lightning style speed, but it has been weakened a lot, which is a weakened version of lightning style speed. At the same time, due to Sasuke's talent, lightning style can stay on ninja swords or hidden weapons for a certain period of time to strengthen the attack power. Hearing Kakashi's explanation, the little Sakura nodded half understanding. Field. Sasuke's lightning style discharge erupted, and Naruto immediately cheered up. At the same time, the chakra in the body seemed to suddenly become agitated because of nervousness. I'm coming to Naruto. Swish. Sasuke's speed is extremely fast. Although Naruto can see the trajectory of Sasuke's movement, it is impossible to block Sasuke's attack with his speed. Multiple shadow clone technique. Only use clone technique at critical moments. Don't underestimate this forbidden technique. This technique can be regarded as being completely out of play in Naruto's hands. The 5 clones that suddenly appeared behind Naruto grabbed Naruto's shoulder and dragged Naruto back. Crack. The slashing wave formed by lightning flashed across the eyes for a month and a half. Naruto just dodged, and the next second Sasuke directly accelerated again, and the 2 clones who stepped forward to block Sasuke's attack were easily cut off by Sasuke. The retreating Naruto took out kunai and directly blocked the front. Clang. The lightning-covered ninja sword collided with kunai. Although Naruto blocked Sasuke's slash, the huge force caused Naruto's body to fly backwards. One blow sent Naruto flying, and the next second, the ninja sword in Sasuke's hand slashed twice instantly. The thunder and lightning broke away from the blade, and turned into 2 flashes of light, which swept straight towards Naruto. Naruto, who was completely impossible to dodge, was blocked by 2 clones that rushed out suddenly. After landing and sliding for 5 or 6 meters, Naruto stabilized his figure, and this time he took the initiative to accelerate. Simultaneously cast Avatar. While blocking the attack with the Avatar, hide the movement of the main body, speed up and get closer to Sasuke. The battle suddenly became more intense, watching Naruto skillfully use the avatar and fight with Sasuke. All the Jonins were stunned for a moment. Although Naruto's speed and strength were obviously suppressed in the field, he was able to use his avatar and Sasuke to maintain an evenly matched posture. The avatar pulls, resists the attack, and helps the main body avoid the attack. All kinds of operations are extremely proficient. I didn't expect that. This Demon Fox kid really has a lot of skills. He is obviously behind in physical skills, but he forcibly blocked the attack of the Uchiha family kid. It's incredible. I didn't expect this battle to be so exciting. When the ninjas were surprised by Naruto's performance, Naruto's movements suddenly changed. More than a dozen clones held Sasuke back, and at the same time Naruto took the initiative to attack, causing Kurenai to instantly block Sasuke's ninja sword. Let Sasuke's attack appear neutral for a moment. Although Naruto was bounced away again, the other clones continued to attack, and Sasuke had no chance to continue the pursuit. Exhibited an exquisite saber technique, instantly annihilating more than a dozen clones that came up at the same time. I don't know why, but Sasuke's knife skills seem familiar to me. When you said that, I remembered it too. This seems to be the Hatake family's sword technique. Speaking of which, many ninjas in the stands secretly glanced at Kakashi. As a teacher, there is nothing wrong with teaching his students some fighting skills, but Hatake's sword skills were also taught to Sasuke. No wonder many ninjas seem to see Yibaya from Sasuke. Maybe Sasuke will be the second wooden Yibaya. Do not. Paired with Sasuke's terrifying lightning style, if he continues like this, he will surpass Yibaya. Look. What that nine-tails kid is holding. Swish swish swish. Intense chakra is gathering towards Naruto's hand with the help of clones. Sasuke. This is the result of my 7-day special training, don't be too surprised. Rasengan. 3. Rasengan. Boom boom boom. A blue ball appeared in Naruto's hand. Naruto, who was running wildly, held Rasengan in one hand, while locking on Sasuke's figure. The chakra waves emitted by Rasengan behind him set off ripples. Sasuke looked at Naruto, who was running towards him. Quickly cut off the clone in front of him with a single knife. At the same time, he grabbed the ninja knife with his backhand, and the moment his right hand formed a seal with one hand, Sasuke stared at Naruto. As expected. Have you learned the Rasengan already? This is so different from the original. Naruto. You bastard. Sasuke's mood is a bit complicated now. No wonder the system recognizes Naruto. Learned Rasengan in 7 days, and it seems that Naruto's Rasengan proficiency is not low at all. In this case, ordinary moves may not be able to block Rasengan's attack. Chidori. Sasuke's hands instantly condensed a strong lightning-style wave, 940, movement. In an instant, there seemed to be countless birds, making melodious chirping sounds. Chidori's voice filled the entire venue. Hearing this voice, countless ninjas stared wide-eyed. Still haven't recovered from Naruto's Rasengan. The next second Sasuke's Chidori surprised everyone again. Kakashi's Chidori. As that Rasengan, Lord Fourth Hokage's. These two brats have mastered such a powerful technique. Who imparted the Nine-Tails Imp's Rasengan? Nowadays, the only person in Konoha who knows how to do this trick is Jiraiya-sama, one of the Sannin. Master Jiraiya. How is that possible? No matter who taught it, now Naruto and Sasuke are about to collide completely. No one wants to miss such an exciting moment. While thunder and lightning flashed, field birds contended. On one side, it was like a hurricane, accompanied by the sound of chakra spinning at a high speed, tearing the air apart. Two rays of light overlapped in the center of the field instantly. Boom! A deafening roar suddenly sounded, and violent shock waves were set off from the feet of the two at the same time. And it began to vibrate rapidly, and it swept away suddenly, hitting the walls around the venue. Beep! A clearly visible crack was left on the wall, encircling the entire site. Even the referee Shiranui Shuenjin in the field was stunned. Good. So powerful. Chidori and Rasengan's collision continues. Sasuke felt the power of Rasengan in Naruto's hand. Very surprised. After using so many shadow clones, I can still have this level of chakra. The physique of the Uzumaki family is a little too pervert. Sasuke smiled helplessly. I am in a state of full chakra, and the lightning-style nature transformation has been strengthened. The Chidori used was not able to completely suppress Naruto. This didn't surprise Sasuke. Bang bang. Lightning flashed, but Naruto's Rasengan was blocked by Sasuke. Although the momentum is fierce, the follow-up force Sasuke is even better. Naruto, who was directly ejected, hit the wall hard. The glaring light slowly dissipated, and the assistant commander looked at Naruto, who fell directly into the wall. He looked down at his palm. Several scratches have already appeared on the palm. Is this the current Naruto? The power of Rasengan is really strong.
As expected of a trick exclusively for the protagonist.
Shiranui Genma glanced at Naruto's direction, and then at Sasuke. I didn't expect this battle to be so exciting. Naruto. A big surprise for everyone. Unexpectedly, Naruto, who is the tail of the crane, would fight the genius Sasuke to such an extent. This game is enough, the time is over. The game is over, winner Uchiha. Wait. Suddenly a voice came from Naruto's direction. Naruto, who jumped down from the wall, raised his head and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. The surrounding smoke parted to reveal his firm gaze. Staring at Sasuke firmly. The battle isn't really over yet. Hearing this, Shiranui Schwanma froze for a moment. Naruto didn't even faint yet. Under the astonishing impact just now, he was still awake? But even that is useless. Naruto's current situation makes it impossible to defeat Sasuke. After all, Sasuke is still in a state of ease, while Naruto has obviously reached his limit. Uzumaki Naruto, you still. However, when he opened his mouth, he hadn't finished speaking. There was a sudden backflow of air, which seemed to be siphoned in the direction of Naruto. However, it was only for a moment that the airflow swept around Naruto and was pushed out violently. The next second, red chakra started bubbling from all over Naruto's body. Strong chakra fluctuations swept the audience. Shiranui Schwenjin was stunned, and countless Jonins in the audience were also stunned. Third Hokage's expression changed. The tailed beast chakra. Has Jinchuriki gone berserk? But soon the tail beast chakra on Naruto formed a chakra coat, and a tail condensed behind Naruto. Chakra turned into a tail. Seeing this, third generation, who just wanted to get up, sat down again. Naruto. Has taken control of the tailed beast chakra. Look at Naruto's still conscious eyes, not controlled by chakra of the tailed beast. This is quite remarkable. Chakra who can control the tailed beast. And it looks like it got one tail's chakra completely from tailed beast. In this way, the battle will be even more confusing. Sasuke was also very surprised. As expected, the protagonist would not be killed so easily. The chakra of 9 tails is in control, perfectly opening the one-tail chakra diplomacy mode. Naruto, who is the monster? Sasuke. I don't want to just throw in the towel. Naruto's awakening made Sasuke also interested, regardless of the task of the system. The battle with Naruto really made Sasuke feel excited. In that case, Sasuke will not be polite, then come on. Brilliant speed, flash. Crack. Thunderbolts fell from the sky and slashed at Commander's help, but in the next second, the thunderbolt swam across Sasuke's body. Dazzling thunder and lightning illuminated the audience, one red and one blue genin emitting different light. The momentum of both sides is climbing steadily. 1.3 For a while, the audience was suddenly ignited. Come on. 2 brats. They were all easily given up, come on. Naruto, let's see what else you can do. Don't be careless about the Uchiha family. This kid is not so easy to deal with. Both of them were not used to being refueled suddenly. But now whether it is Naruto or Sasuke, they only have each other in their eyes. Beep. The first striker is Sasuke. In a flash of lightning, Sasuke waved his ninja sword and appeared beside Naruto. The extremely cold knife brought lightning and slashed directly at Naruto's neck. It can be next second. The palm wrapped in red chakra firmly grasped Sasuke's ninja sword. Boom! A loud roar sounded. Sasuke looked up at Naruto. Speed, strength, have all grown so amazing.